I'm so sorry, guys. It's so embarrassing. Hopefully now I can get it to work. You can clearly tell I was born in the 80s because I'm not like so technologically. Oh, what a shame, puppy shame for me. Um, Everyone's laughing at me in my comment section. Okay, I'm gonna try this one last time. Oh my god! Priyanka joining us. Fingers crossed. This works. Hi! I can't hear you!
Two of us who are struggling to go on live.
Can you?
Can you hear me?
Hi!
Hi.
Yes, finally we have
Finally.
Priyanka with us, which is amazing.
Thank you.
I gave you this amazing introduction in the first live video, but then you weren't there, so I was like, sorry guys, and then I had to start it again.
Hold on.
Then I like gave a second introduction and you still didn't connect.
Ouch.
So, ladies and
We
gentlemen,
should have rehearsed this.
we should have no, but how,
At least the technical part.
no, there's no way to rehearse. So I just want to tell everybody the reason I've been so like sucky at this is because there's no way to rehearse an Insta live because you just go live to people. Right? So
I'm saying at least the technical part, and the two of us put together struggling with technology.
I know. Well, this is why like I show up and do the talent bit and you make sure that the paperwork is done and other people do this otherwise. So okay everyone, this is Priyanka Kimani. As I mentioned earlier, Priyanka is an entertainment lawyer, but she's much more than that, which I only recently discovered. Priyanka has like a supermodel past. She has been a model, she's been a writer, and then she got into entertainment law. And I think she's really one of the most, I would say, scary, effective, and amazing lawyers that we have out there today. She works with a variety of talents in entertainment, including music, in film, and digital. So it's so lovely to have you here today.
It's so lovely to be here. And
Yes,
thanks to
so
we finally get to put on a little bit of lipstick, look nice.
Yeah, I know. Today I was like, oh, let me put on my red nail polish and all and be like extra. So Priyanka, I was just before you came on, I was telling everyone that this is such an interesting time because people are starting to look at entertainment in a completely different way. It's almost become like something people really, really need right now. Starting with so everyone understands, what is entertainment law? Could you give us like a 10-second crash course in what it is?
10 seconds is not doing
15,
justice.
15.
But okay, but simply put, I tell everybody this: there is no Entertainment Act of 2019, right? So therefore, entertainment is not a law; it's a business. And
Yes.
what lawyers do is that we help that business function in a way that helps people derive the most amount of value from all the creativity and all of these beautiful assets that they're creating, whether it's the performance that an actor gives, whether it's a movie, it's a book that someone writes. So, like I said, entertainment is a business, and we're here to maximize that.
Right. And the law bit comes in when people don't show up for work or you have to sue someone.
All of it, right? Everything. So a lot of people would ask me, my mom included, right? That, but why do these people need a lawyer? Like, why does a director need a lawyer? Why does an actor need a lawyer? 9 out of 10 times, people think that when I say I represent so and so, they think that I'm their agent, or that
Or
you're
manager,
brokering
yes.
or their manager. And so everyone would ask me that why do people in the film and movie business need lawyers? So what we do is really, like I said, come in and help organize the whole thing. So yes, you need lawyers right from making sure that an actor, when they're endorsing a product, is protected. Tomorrow, if the product gets into some issue, there is some liability. To,
Right.
like you said, making sure someone turns up on a set and shoots the entirety of the film.
Yeah,
to,
and there's
you
also
know,
IP, which is intellectual property, where you can get
exactly.
into disputes or matters of people. Well, to put it in layman's terms, stealing someone else's idea,
All the time.
or
Or
stealing
protecting it,
someone's
right?
lyric, or protecting your idea to make sure people don't steal it. To put it in like
Yeah.
layman's terms, right?
All of
So,
that, and more important, I think in today's day and age, also to sort of maximize it, right? So for example, you have one small piece of IP. Let's say you've written something today, you see that there is a prequel, there's a sequel, there's a remake, there is a web
yeah,
series
we're
on
always
based on
remaking
that.
stuff like Hindi movies, Tamil, Telugu, whatever language,
Yeah, it's in multiple
remakes
languages.
or
We're
across
picking
languages.
we're picking Korean films, making them in Indian languages, vice versa. You write. That's why. So I think that's where lawyers come in. Any small piece of intellectual property that you create to help not just protect it, but to sort of keep letting you see the value in it again and again and again. So that's where we largely step in. So yes, a part of it is to protect it, make sure that nobody is infringing it, as we say,
Yeah,
right, or
yeah.
copying it or stealing it. But even smaller things where we come in today, take for example, a lot of us have been doing Insta lives. We're seeing a lot of concerts that are happening. A lot of
People are
artists
playing
do
on their Instagram music and
exactly
stuff.
right for it.
Yes.
So the last few days we've been busy trying to advise talents that what do they is it okay to do this live when you are using somebody's music? Is it licensed? Is
Oh, meaning
somebody
like,
gonna
oh, meaning if I was singing somebody else's stuff, like if I wanted to cover.
or even my own songs, right? But if I don't have the copyright in it anymore and I still want to have an Insta live and let my fans and audiences be entertained
So,
during
guys,
these
you see that
times.
it's not just that simple to go and sing someone else's song or even your own song.
Yeah, or even worse, it just happened literally last night. One of the artists that I work with did an Insta live, did a beautiful online concert, and the next thing we know is that somebody's downloaded or saved their entire live performance and has gone and put it up on their channel and is now monetizing it further. And
How do you
obviously the
monetize?
artist is
Okay, so
upset that
monetize
listen,
is
can they do
basically.
this?
So just to be clear, if I were to be doing, let's say I decided to play something on my piano for 10 minutes today, and then somebody could record it and then put it on their YouTube channel, but how do they make money from something like that?
Because YouTube will have ads as soon as the video starts picking up certain views. You'll notice even when we are watching a YouTube video that it has ads in it, right? Sometimes
Those
they
annoying
play
ads, yes.
for a yeah, so they play for a few seconds, you skip it. But basically, every time there's an ad infused in your video, there's a certain amount of money that's getting collected at the back end.
Of the
So
person who started that YouTube page.
correct.
Right.
That YouTube channel. Yeah. So what will happen is today, if you played something on your piano and it's your original music, you obviously are not going to be happy that it's sitting on somebody else's YouTube channel, right? And it's not
Right.
just about making money. It's about that other person's channel is getting more popular, is getting the views, is getting the subscribers, but on the
Right.
back of something that you created to begin with.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
even all of these live concerts that we've been having, right? So a lot of times I'll have composers or singers come and tell me, but it's my own song. I sung it originally. Why the hell can I not, do a live performance online? Well, if you don't have the rights, it's tricky, right? It's like saying that just because I built this house, I sold it later to somebody else, but because I built it originally, I should
I
still
can
come and
stay
live
here
there once
whenever
a
I
year for
want.
free.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think it's understanding these simple nuances, and then obviously people will say that, oh, but there are so many cover versions online, and how I put Insta stories. Well, at the back end, the platform tries to take a license. So even when we do Instagram stories and we have some video that some music bite that we put in the background, sometimes you'll notice that it says that sorry, this music is not available in your region.
Correct.
Right?
Like on
That's
Instagram, yeah.
probably because Instagram has not been able to figure out a license for that particular area.
So for India alone, because that same song can be available in
Correct.
UK or US,
In
but it
some
won't
other
be
parts,
available
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So similarly, my question is like, say TikTok is so popular now, and it seems to have voice dubs and songs from various things. So you mean TikTok bought all of that?
They will have to sit and clear. If it is owned by any third party, they're clearing rights one by one by one. They'll go to
So
each
just so
record
me
label,
and the
each
people watching this
publisher.
understand, just so people like me and the people watching this understand. Now there are some very popular songs, okay? Like I don't know, I'm not like the most pop person, but like there are popular songs, but there are also some songs which are like maybe an upcoming hip hop artist. There's also
Right.
like Drake with that flip the switch, which everybody's doing. But then there's also like smaller artists and people use their stuff.
Right.
Does that mean TikTok pays these artists every time one person or a user does it, or do they pay them like
No,
Jay
not
might
the
be willing,
artist. So they would pay whoever owns the right.
owns the, I'm sorry, yeah,
Right.
whoever
So
owns
correct. So
that.
if the artist owns it, yes, they would negotiate a blanket license because it's impossible, right, to keep paying each time. There are so many what we call user-generated content or user-generated videos,
Yeah, so
right?
every time somebody does flip the switch,
It's
Drake
not
doesn't get like,
possible. No, it's. I think first thing, no, none of these platforms will survive if they had to do that. But so streaming services are different, right? So if on Spotify, Savan, Ghana, every single time
iTunes.
that you stream, for each stream, the rights holder is getting paid, whether it's 10 paisa, 7 paisa, 12 paisa, but there is a math and that is getting distributed amongst different rights holders.
Okay.
And the artist also. So yeah, they do get paid per stream each time that there is a stream.
Yeah. And
It's a
even
fascinating world of
there are,
technology and entertainment that we live in today.
my God, I think uh, people really don't understand that there's a back end of it which is not fun. It's not like let me flip
It's
the switch
not
and it's
fun,
done
it's
and you get to
painful.
use it, but there's just so much behind it, which is what people like you do. Now, I also wanted to get to the thing of like right now, as we're talking about all the deals you've worked on and collaborations and partnerships, I feel like you would agree that visual, so that's cinema or TV shows or visual content, and music and podcasts and all on this side, audio content, it's all moving digital. Am I right? Like all of it has moved into this strong.
100%.
So
100%.
all of us have a phone and we want to stream music, we want to download music, right? Now, at a time like this, what do you see as the future of digital platforms like your Netflix, Amazon? Especially now in quarantine, everyone's like, what shows do I watch? What do I do? How
Yeah.
much do? So I have a question at this time. Are platforms like Netflix and Amazon really pushing? Like, is their back office sitting alone, isolated, and working really hard to make sure we get ads or content right now?
Well, I don't know if how much new content is coming on because it's not given the circumstances. I don't think anyone can actually produce, right? Or production
No,
is
I'm saying were there
practically
things
at
in
a
the shelf,
standstill.
like in the back
Yeah,
storeroom,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
supposed to
A
come out, but
lot of new
now
content being infused.
sab nikalo.
100%. In fact,
Yeah.
I was just reading in a report that came out a few days ago that there's almost a 42% hike in streaming services because
Yeah,
of
of
this
course.
quarantine period that we're staying in. Because everyone's obviously streaming music or streaming on OTT platforms, right?
And
So
binge watching and binge
binge
listening.
watching. So subscriptions are through the roof. I guess good times for all the streaming platforms, OTT platforms. But yeah, a lot of content that's just going to be pushed so that people can consume as much as they can during this period. And you're right, everything is moving gradually to digital. At a time like this, it's a little, it's tricky. It's unfortunate that the live industry takes a beating because,
Yes.
as you and I know, it's a whole different economy that sustains life.
Definitely. And I was just going to say, like, someone like you have a legal office with so many people who work under you. Like, for me, there's not many people that work under me. They work on a project to project basis, right? Like my makeup or hair or whoever. But you actually have employees. So, how difficult is it at this time to make sure that you take care of your employees and that you take care of your team? Or do you actually assign work still? Are you all still working from home?
So believe it or not, it's pretty much been 16, 18 hours a day of work every
So I
single day
want to
for the
tell
last
everybody,
2 weeks.
Priyanka's a lunatic, okay? Because she works harder than anybody else I know. There have been times when I'm in another country and it's like 3 a.m. in India. I won't realize and I'll be like, let me call Priyanka. There's this legal paperwork. And I'll be like, hi, Priyanka. She'll be wide awake. No problem. Tell me. And I'll be like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. Is it 3 in the morning? She's like, don't worry. I'm still in the office. So she's completely nuts. I don't think that
So you can
normal.
imagine what the rest of my team is like.
Yeah, so have you chosen
I'm
any
not
kind
letting
of,
anyone sit still or sit quiet in this lockdown.
so you guys are still working 16,
We're
18 hours,
completely,
but
yeah,
in
we're all working
isolation.
from home, but it's seamless. Touch wood. I'm so glad of this. I would be pulling my hair. But everybody is working from home seamlessly. We all sort of check in through the day multiple times. I know people will do one Zoom meeting with their team, but it's not like that with us. Through the day, different members of different teams, whether they're doing film, TV, music, corporate, everybody's checking in. We are coordinating with each other, and
Yes,
work is happening because there's a, like you said, there's a lot at the back end that we need to figure out, right? So, for
sure.
example, even when this situation eventually and hopefully will go back to normalcy,
Touch
you
wood,
want to make
hopefully
sure that
sooner
work
rather than later.
flows
Yeah,
from there. Yeah, so we are constantly still working on different things, different issues that are coming up. Like I gave you this example of everyone doing live online concerts, right? So,
sure.
what is the legalese surrounding that? Do we do it? Do we not do it? How do we do it? People want to collaborate. It's a great time for everyone to collaborate. But even then, you need to figure out how is that collaboration going to work. You have artists collaborating across different countries, across borders. So I think it's nice. And as lawyers, it really doesn't matter where we are, right? I just office is wherever I am. It's pretty
Correct.
much like that. So it's we're
I also want to
working
know,
on.
what do you feel? How does this impact for actors, producers, people like us who have to go to set? Like I, as an actor, I'm like, when do I go to the studio again? When do I go to the set again? And you must understand, like for people watching, like we solely depend on travel, like our movie shoots, even recording, like
Our
you know,
endorsement,
yeah. I
live
mean, I
appearances.
think there are many other professions that can start working much before us once we start solving this problem and once we get a grip on this pandemic, hopefully, like I said, sooner rather than later. I've realized that there's a lot more people who can go back to work sooner than I can. So how do you think this impacts the entertainment industry, what has happened right now?
Quite a bit. I think one of the it's both. So on the one hand, work hasn't stopped, and as far as digital is concerned, life is still going on. So also people are using this time to sit and develop a lot of scripts, a lot of projects, work on collaborations. But I think the biggest impact that we've seen, like you mentioned, is anything that has got to do with our live presence, right? So events
Yeah,
take
because
a
I'm
big hit.
assuming, Priyanka, that if this was to go on, say, for 6 months, for like hopefully not, but let's say worst case scenario, that means soon all of these seasons will be over, everything will be streamed, all of it will be done. Then actually we have
We
to go
need
and
new
shoot
content.
stuff. Not me, but actors
Yeah,
or whoever
a
have to go
hundred
and shoot
percent.
to create content. Then what does one do, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, I
Right.
think the biggest hit that we're seeing is that all production has come to a standstill, right? And also, it's an entire even within that, even within entertainment. I think production or anything that's live supports a whole different world in itself. Like you and I will agree, our set dadas, our stuntmen, our junior artists,
That
our
was what I was
sound
going
and
to come
light
to
guys,
next.
our hair
Yes.
and makeup. I mean, it's countless, right? The kind of crew that we need to put even a small piece of work together. So I
I
think
mean,
that
it's not even right for you and me to be like, oh, when are we going to shoot again?
it's
Because
really
I think
the
of the
technicians,
daily wage lighting crew and like production and spot
all our
assistants
technicians.
and
Yeah.
technicians who are working on a day-to-day basis. This is a very, very, very
This is
bad
a
time.
very tough time for all of them, and I think that's the main community that's I think going to, is seeing the largest
I mean,
impact and
honestly,
the
they are
largest
the
hit.
ones that make a film happen.
100%,
They are
one
the
hundred
ones that
percent.
really matter,
A set won't function without our technicians, without our crew, without our spot dadas, and all of them. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is particular a tough time really for that community. That's why I said it's a world in itself. This particular community that we have, and
Yes.
yeah, I think for everybody's benefit, let's hope that this time ends soon.
Definitely. But you two are still working, so it's like you are.
We have to keep things. The show must go on, as they say.
I know. I wanted to ask you what your opinion is in terms of now that, especially a time like this, it really brings to question, like, the future of entertainment. Like, I was just thinking, how can, if I'm here for 5, 6 months and, we talk about doing music collaborations across the board and music. So I'm actually starting to think the next thing I really need to do, which I haven't done, which I feel so silly about right now, is why don't I have my own live music setup, like to produce at home? Like I've never just done it, you know, because I'm like so technologically challenged. I'm like, I'll just play my piano, it's fine, you know. So I was like, oh, this is a good way. I wish I had a setup so I could continue my music collaborations with people across the seas on the other side, people in Bombay, because we're not even able to meet them. And I also think visually, then, what do you think is the future if, you know, we're stuck like this? Are people going to think out of the box, you think, like for music and for VR and animation? Is that the direction
100%.
we're headed in?
Yeah, so in fact, I'm glad you brought up VR because I was thinking about it that a time like this would have been so perfect had we sort of had seen a little bit of more advancement as far as VR is concerned, or
Virtual reality,
so
just
much
yeah.
virtual reality. Yeah, and then people discussing holograph technologies. Imagine if you could see, a holograph image of one of your favorite artists being able to perform in your living room, right? I know there's technology out there, it's still being developed.
Do
Where
you think that is what the future of entertainment will be? That, okay, like I remember
at
when they
least a
suddenly
part
had
of it.
Tupac performing. Do you remember that when they got
Yeah.
Tupac on stage? And I was like, oh my God, like it was so emotional and moving and important. And do you think that that's what the future of entertainment will be? That you can actually have uh, whoever rapping in your, like, you know.
I think honestly, yes, it will be a part of it. I don't think we'll ever be able to eliminate the whole you. I'm old school like
Yeah,
that,
because so
right?
many
Despite how
aunties would
much
want break in
technology
their
and
living
AI
room.
I
Can
deal
you
with,
imagine, Priyanka? Like, they were like,
counterproductive to our interests. No, but and I say this all the time when people ask me my views on even artificial intelligence, right? Saying that, oh, will it
yeah,
replace
yeah.
lawyers someday? A lot of people ask me that do you think artificial intelligence will replace lawyers? And my answer is the same, that I don't think you can replace that core, so just what I say, core lawyering. Just like that, even with art, I don't think I can replace that element of having that personal physical touch or physical presence. Yes, a part of that technology will help. Let's say, for example, you will help distance, decrease decrease distances, or make it possible for you to sit here and be able to view an artist in a completely different part of the world. But will it ever eliminate a Shruti going live on stage and performing and take that
Exactly.
experience away? Probably not.
You know,
It's
when
not
music,
happening.
they started replacing instruments with like VSTs, like virtual instruments, and like, you know, like plugins and stuff. People were like, oh, I wonder if we can replace the human voice. And I was like, we're not
No,
going to get replaced,
no,
because there is
that's
a
not
human
happening.
quality, or the way a musician plays the guitar, or the way a musician plays the cello,
Or that
that cannot
style,
be
or that
imitated.
funk, right? Each person has their own swag, has their own sort of bit of that
Well,
X factor that they
it's
bring
like
in.
a soul fingerprint that comes through an art, really.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of VR, what do you think is the future? Like, I know the first time I was introduced to VR was when I played like a video game, and I was like blown away. And then AR Rahman was doing like this VR movie thing, and he showed me a bit, and I was like, oh my God! Like, I was just so
There's some
excited
pretty
by
cool
this.
stuff that's happening with VR.
Yes, so that's a great thing to realize, that if, you know, like you said, at a time like this, if we had moved a little more ahead in VR, now would have been the time to really be a part of
Would have
that
been
world.
amazing. Imagine if we had our VR glasses and all of us sitting at home and just sort of enjoying different experiences. I think it's happening in a lot of different parts in a lot of different ways. We're still a little bit further, little far away from reaching that point. But yeah, it opens up a whole different
Well, if
world
you
of
told
possibilities.
everybody 20 years ago that almost every Indian will have a cell phone and they can listen to music, people would have been like, nahi, mujhe nahi lagta hai. I really don't think so. But now that's happened.
And
And
here
so
we are.
yeah, and I think, you know what I honestly think? I don't know about others, but I'm really okay with the self isolating. Like, I am really, really happy to be by
Of
myself,
course
doing
you
my work.
are.
Yeah, yeah, you know me. I'm like so like happy to be at home.
You and I are enjoying this
Yeah,
solitude, isolation.
I mean, I have to be honest. This morning, I was like feeling like I really want to travel. Like, I really want to pack my bag and like go somewhere.
Go
You
awesome.
know, yeah, because you know, it feels like my ability to travel has been taken away. But that's fine. It's a small
Yeah.
sacrifice for such a large thing of us being safe and okay. But I just, I think that when someone's asking a question, oh, what should we all watch? Recommendations I'll do later. So, yeah, I think that, what was I saying? I completely lost track.
That how you and I are enjoying the self-isolation.
Yeah,
You thought that you'd travel, but
now
it's
in the
it's a small
future,
price to pay.
there's this app now called House Party that everybody's
Yeah.
going mad about, right? I did not even know what it was before
I
Corona.
literally just downloaded it. I still have to try it.
No, it's awesome. We totally have to. They have this quick draw thing, which is like so dope. So we totally have to do that. But I was just wondering that now is a good time to realize that technology is such an important part of our life today as we speak right now. You and I speaking this way. This was not possible even 15 years ago.
Yeah.
To have spent this time. We would have just been making town calls or something. So like, this is amazing. I just want to ask you, what is your opinion? Do you think that with the advent of people now realizing that technology connects you while you just sit here, would then VR and like music and all of that change?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think we'll see more and more of this evolving. We are moving more and more towards virtual reality, towards artificial intelligence in different ways. Even the way, just look at how cinema has evolved, right? The way we make our movies today. So much of your movie is really at times even being made just inside editing rooms and studios. Look at the
Yes.
kind of effects that you see. Entire scenes are constructed from
Yes.
scratch on an editing table, and using pure computer effects. So I think you'll see more and more of that as technology moves further. And I think as a lawyer, for example, right, very often we'll get involved in those. Imagine you having to license your rights, your physical attributes, the way you sound, the way you look, to a certain VR personality of Shruti Hassan that someone's trying to create.
God, it sounds like an episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah,
It does.
it is.
So basically, so people understand, like, when there was like a film called Beowulf, if you remember that.
Yeah.
It had like Anthony Hopkins and Angelina Jolie, but it didn't have them. It was like kind of like on an Ice Age, or Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Just like that.
And
Just
yeah,
like that.
so they
Imagine if
basically
someone wanted to create a VR version of a Shruti Hassan and put it in a game, right? We would today license those rights because
Do you
we're
know how
creating
many people
something
are like,
like
Shruti looks like
Shruti
that
Hassan.
PUBG girl? Shruti looks like that PUBG girl, apparently. So I don't play PUBG. And they're like, Shruti, you look like this PUBG girl. And I was like, I was wondering, I was like, then, so they'd send me like pictures and stuff. And I'd be like, huh,
Is she?
maybe I should be like a video game character.
We would totally license that.
Do you think that in the future you would have actors being video? I know they've done one.
You
with
already
Keanu
do,
Reeves.
right? I mean, we look at Virat Kohli. There's like a whole show, I think, called Super V, where it's an animated character based on Virat Kohli. So you obviously have gone and sought rights from Virat to be able to create an
But
animated
did they like
character that
map
looks
his
like
face
him.
with the dots and everything?
Sorry?
Do you think they mapped his face with all the dots, or they just made a character based on him?
Yeah. Of course, you do all. I mean, I think this was animation, so it was still relatively simpler. But if I was creating a holograph, let's say a holograph of you, so that someday I can sit in my living room and have you play the piano without you physically being present. Yeah, we would totally like map your face with those dots and create an image of you.
That is so amazing. That's really,
Crazy,
really
right?
exciting. Because for me, I feel like if I could just go once and shoot a performance, and then they can just keep playing it in people's living rooms, that would be so amazing. And I'd be like, no, that performance was my best one. So make sure everybody looks at that one.
That performance.
Well, that's really amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. And is there any last parting words, oh wise one?
That no matter how much VR, holograph, AI we have, I still want to hear Shruti Hassan play live on that piano in front of me.
Oh, thank you, Priyanka. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Time has gone by as always.
Sorry?
I'm saying time has just flown by as always.
As always.
Chatting with you. I don't even know, like this suddenly feels too short, but thank you. This is amazing.
Thank you for coming here and speaking with us today. Come on.
Most welcome.
Bye.
Bye, sweetheart.